Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have another review of an SHF figure. This is the SHF Kamen Rider G3-X. Now, those who remember, I think it was last week, I reviewed the SHF Kamen Rider G3, as you can see right over here. Now, Kamen Rider G3-X is basically the upgraded version of the G3, so G3-X definitely has more armor, he has more equipment, and there's actually a good amount of difference, so which is why I'm going to do a full-fledged review, and I will be doing some side-by-side comparisons. Alright, so as I usually do on my typical reviews, let's go on with the components. So first of all, what you get, of course, is the rider himself, and then you get his gun that can be actually attached to his right side this time, and then you get a folded up version of two weapons. One is his combat knife, which is actually a folded up version, which is on his shoulder, his left shoulder, and on his left side we have another shock baton, which is actually a folded up version. Don't worry, we actually do get the opened up versions as well. So here we have the hand. Now, currently on the figure itself, I already attached a right trigger finger hand for the right arm, and then a multi-purpose hand for the left arm to save time. So other than that, what you get, of course, is a open hand for left and right, so that's that, and then we get a fist hand for left and right, and then we actually do get both trigger fingers for left and right. The other one is actually on the figure, as I mentioned, and then here we have a multi-purpose hand for the right hand. So once again, we get every type of hand for both arms. And here we have some of the equipment. So first of all, we get this. This is actually I forgot what they called this, but I remember they mentioned this being like some sort of warhead, which is basically a more powerful bomb, like a grenade, which they attached to this weapon to fire. I think this is like G3-X's main capability of destroying the monsters, I believe, or one of the main capabilities. And here we have this. As you can see, it may look like a suitcase, but it's actually a Gatling gun that is folded up. Yes, like this. Oop, come on. There we go. This is the opened up version. Now, technically, detail-wise, I think they did an amazing job. The only thing that's missing, I think, is there's these 3 or 4 buttons right over here. They have to be red, but other than that, they did an absolute amazing job. I wasn't even expecting this to be folded up, but yeah. Here we have the opened up version of of the combat knife and the shock baton. Now the shock baton, I think it may look a little bit shorter, and yeah, it looks kind of dinky, but I believe this also works as the handle for the guard chaser, aka the motorcycle for G3-X, because of this part. I believe, yeah. I'm not sure if this is the actual key, but yeah. And I actually really like this combat knife. Now, to my understanding, this is supposed to be like a mini version of that chainsaw we saw from G3, but I could be wrong. The interesting part is that now when you want to use this knife, you have to use the trigger finger, not the multi-purpose hand. So because of that, you can now hold it like this. Alright, so now let's get on to the review. So before I go on to the articulation, I just want to try out a simple comparison between the two. So let's do that, actually. Alright, ooh, there we go. So here we have both of them. I'm going to have to lower the stand a little bit. Here we have both of them. Currently, as you can see G3-X is definitely based on the G3 on the G3, and then you can see some similarities, but at the same time, they gave it definitely a lot more differences in colors. Like there's more silver on the rider now, and you can see it definitely looks more powerful. Speed-wise, I'm not too sure. I'm not really sure if G3-X is supposed to be slower or faster, but you can see the upgraded, like, you know, the idea of it. And unlike G3, you actually get the term G3-X on the shoulder. Alright, and before that, let's also check the back. The backpack is, as I mentioned, very different. The machine gun, they have this part here, which is actually the ammo clip as far as I know, and you actually have 2 of them on the backpack. Of course, they do not come out, or at least mine doesn't come out. So if anybody has this figure and it comes off, do tell me. The backpack is definitely looking different. Yeah, I still think there's supposed to be some purpose for this like hinge right over here, but oh well. So yeah, other than that, there's definitely has been a big upgrade. Even the helmet, there are some extra more details going on there. All right, so now let's get on to the review. So let's start from top to bottom. So the head, as I mentioned, there's a little bit more detail. You can see on the G3 there was no like these vents, but now there's more vents going on. So yeah, but overall the normal general idea is kind of similar. So for me, I think basically that G3 wasn't, he could deal damage, but he wasn't able to take a hit. Now while G3-X now can take a few hits now. The headwise can go down that much, up that much, and 360. Amazingly, it works very well. And then the main body, I really love this new body style, like this blue chest plate armor and stuff. The articulation wise, I guess you could say it's almost identical as G3-X, but of course, I mean as the G3. But being there's more armor and such, I think it'd be safe to check it out. And then here we have the shoulder, which has the same rotating shoulder joint. Can go forward and backward, up and down. And then we have the flappy shoulder armor. And then here we have the folded up weapon. Now, usually you would think that when you attach this, you would think that you would place it like this, like front, but that's not how it works. So you have to actually pull it. You have to put it in this way. I mean, I guess if you if you kind of stand it down, I guess you could pull it out the other way. But yeah, that's how at least mine worked out. I'm gonna take it out just for now. And then the arm articulation is pretty much identical. It has more than 90-degree bend, and yeah, the arm design is still different from left and right. We have only blue and silver, while there's these red lines going on here. And then the arm can go 90 degrees to the side, and then 360 twist is possible, of course, because on the left arm there's this hand. Because of this part, it may be tricky, but it is still possible. Okay, now let's get the size. The belt is pretty much identical, so no big difference. And I realized like the side skirts are actually connected to the belt, as far as I know, for this figure at least. So yeah, which actually seems like a good idea, but at the same time, it's not the best idea as well, because it actually limits the leg articulation. Here is the folded up version of the shock baton. So yeah, here as you can see, it's you can see that the motorcycle handle motif on this thing. So yeah, I'm gonna take it off, and this is how it just really clips on. There's no peg system going on here, and it's not loose, so no need to worry. And then we have a side swivel going on here, and then on the other leg we have the Magnum, I believe they call this the Magnum or the Scorpion. Yeah, the name is the Scorpion, but in the wiki they mentioned this is like a Magnum type gun. I don't think they actually. This is like mostly to fend off the monsters, not to the point where to destroy them. I don't think I've seen the scene where they destroyed a monster using this. While it attaches very well, it's also very stiff. So you can see there's a peg here. There's a hole. There was this one time I was trying to take it off, and then the silver part on the gun, actually, you can see there's a seam line over there. It kind of went to spread out. So just be careful. And yeah, but because of those size armor, it's really hard to go up front 90 degrees. So yeah, I'm trying my best, and yeah, I think this is like as far as I go. But bending the knees, very nice. And then we have the typical, ankle joints, pivot, and then toe bend. Ooh. The toe bend is kind of stiff. There we go. Yeah. Once again, the only part that I kind of suggest that you be careful with this is the V fin on the head, or the antennas. Those seem very fragile to me. Now I haven't tested it because obviously I don't want to risk breaking it, but yeah, just keep that in mind. And I would like to mention, this is like one of those. This is the best looking figure among the old SHFs out there, and I believe the G3-X is still one of the easier ones to get. I believe. Okay, so now let's go on with the equipment. So as usual, we'll start with the basics. We have the gun, the basic gun. All you need to do is just jam it in there, and then put in the trigger finger. Now, as I mentioned from the G3, the old SHFs, the problem is, despite they give you the proper hands for the weapon, it's not like the best perfect fit. You can see it's holding it, but the trigger finger is not really going inside there. So yeah, I'm not sure if the hands are too big or the handle is just too big, but it's one of them. So it's not like the 100% best fit, but it still works. And for the combat knife, here we have, as I mentioned, you have to use the trigger finger because of that extra hold that's going on, and this one actually fits in very well. So I actually really love this combat knife. If you want to, I guess you could put in the folded up version if you want to. I haven't tested it out, but I assume there's no reason for it to not work because, the handle doesn't actually shrink. Yeah, there you go. You can actually attach this as well, and you get a dinky blade. Okay, and for the baton, this, well, you could actually attach it onto the trigger finger, but I mostly use this on the multi-purpose hand. Now, I guess this would be also one of those things that you have to be careful, because this pipe might break a little bit easily. But as I mentioned, this shock baton looks very short for what it is. I mean, I've never seen or touched a real baton before, so maybe this is supposed to be the right length, but do tell me. But to me, this looks very short. Alright, so let's take it off, and then let's go to the finale. Oh boy, we have the Gatling gun. Now, first of all, I would like to mention we have this flap going on here. I like to take it off because it really gets in the way on putting on the hand. So I'm going to jam it in there, and there we go. Now, the way how you're supposed to hold this is that, wait a second. Okay, suddenly I'm having a little bit trouble. There we go. So this is supposed, the back of the stock is supposed to be going under the, whatchamacallit, under the armpit. So, and then it's kind of advised that you use the open hand for the other hand, so you can like kind of get it like under it, so it has an extra grip. And then there you go. You have the Gatling gun. It holds out pretty well. But the other thing is that what you can do is, on the gun, you have this extra peg going on here. Now, this was like a small detail I was never like aware of. But what you can do is you can take off the scope, and once again, I'm not really sure how you would use a scope on a pistol type weapon, and then you can attach it on here. And then what you can do is, like, I'm not gonna show you guys a full demonstration, but basically what you can do is you can put the other trigger finger here, and then you can attach it on here, so you can have a double holding stance, and then finally attach this grenade or the warhead, and then you have that scene where he fires the weapon. So yeah, here's a picture of me trying to demonstrate that, but it works very well. So despite the age of this figure, it can do pretty much all the poses that you kind of want to do. As I mentioned, most of these old figures, mostly the issue is that, number one, some of them have some balance issues. Number two, some parts get very loose easily. Now, this one I'm not having any issues, but I have a SHF Kamen, which I bought a second hand, and one of the leg joints are very loose. Other than that, other than the like loose joints and stuff, the main reason why people want to see like a renewal version of these old figures is because of the proportions, as far as I know. Because, well, at least for G3-X, this one looks pretty okay, but some of them they have this awkward, you know, proportions, because some of them have like, they may look like they have long arms. Some say like these figures are like too skinny, but that's just how it is at this point. And that is pretty much it for the review. Now, I would definitely recommend the G3-X, and for those who love like these type of human artificial riders, or those who are just a big fan of like militaristic or police-ish like character design figures, definitely recommend it. And I also have the G4 in my possession, which you could, I guess you could say the next review it could be G4. But if you don't want to see the G4, let me know right away, because then I'll review a different figure, and then the next week after that I'll review the G4. Anyways, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the SHF Kamen Rider G3-X. Despite the age, it's definitely holding out very well, so I definitely recommend it. Other than that, thank you for watching the review. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time!